TK1 up against the Thai pairing who've been playing awfully well this year, Jomkoh and Kedren. Well, this is the third quarter of the draw, and the former world champions, Alan Char and So Yi, who were the Olympic bronze medalists at the last Olympic Games, they're also in this section. And in the precise section of the match we're about to watch is Astrup and Rasmussen, who were silver medalists at last year's World Championships, and of course fresh from victory at the Malaysia Masters last week in Kuala Lumpur. So here come the Malaysians, Man Wei Chong and TK1. And, well, the man leading out the two Thai players, Supak Jomkoh, must be feeling very pleased with himself at the moment, because he's already played earlier today, and that was in the mixed doubles where he and his partner Pearl Sampran put out the #2 seeds from China, Fan Yangzhe and Wang Dongping. A remarkable match down on court #2. Well, this will be a first meeting between these two pairs. So no fallback books to go by. And when you consider that their current world rankings are 20 and 21, this looks as if it could be a pretty even contest. The toss of the coin. So I think the Malaysians chose to receive.
Yes, I think you're correct.
Yeah. Well, Steve, maybe you and I are just old fogies that don't understand the modern way of thinking.
Apparently. Apparently.
Well, let's look at the Malaysians first of all. And Man Wei Chong is 24 years of age. And he's a tall man, as you can see. That's very nearly 6 foot tall. They, as I was telling you, are #20 on the world rankings. And that's 3 places down from their career high. Well, TK1 is 24 years of age, turned 24 last month. Both from the historic states, the ancient city of Malacca. This is their third consecutive Singapore Open for the Malaysians. The last 2 years they've reached the second round and then lost in the second round. So this is Kittinupong Kedren, who is 27 years of age, from Songkhla in southern Thailand near the border with Malaysia. And they're enjoying their second consecutive week at their career high of 21. They, like their opponents, are playing in a third consecutive Singapore Open, but unlike their opponents, they've never won a match together in the men's doubles discipline at this particular tournament. He's the taller of the two, as you can see, 180. And as I was telling you, he must be very happy with his performance earlier today, putting out the #2 seeds in the mixed doubles. So our court officials for this one, the umpire from Korea and the service judge from Singapore. Just before the match gets underway, that was a startling result for Jomkoh in the mixed doubles, wasn't it?
It was.
Did you
very surprising. I just saw some of the third game, and they were really quick. And some front,
yeah,
quick on their feet.
And I have to say that speed of movement, I mean, Kedren, as we saw, is not the tallest of athletes, 163, that's about 5'4", but it's their speed of movement as a men's doubles pair that has really taken them to a new level this year. You look back on last year, they played 20 tournaments, 19 of them they lost in the first or second round. This year, between the Indian Open and the Swiss Open, they were a quarter-finalist or better in all 6 tournaments they played in that period. What a transformation.
Yeah, it was. But I think the playing conditions has a lot to say for this Thai pair here. Either really drifty, fast playing conditions or very, very slow playing conditions. In between that, that's not so good for them.
That in itself is surprising, either very slow or very quick.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, to my right, Mam Wei Chong and Kai Kun Thi, Malaysia. And on my left, Supak Jomkoh and Kitinupong Kedren, Thailand. Kitinupong Kedren to serve to Mam Wei Chong, local.
So both pairs unseeded. It is the Thai combination of Jomkoh and Kedren nearest to us, up against the Malaysians Man and T.
It's early to start shaking your shoulder there, as Kedren did.
Jomkoh and Kedren have qualified for the Paris Olympics. Qualified at number 11 with a world ranking of 22. Only 16 pairs, of course, in the doubles disciplines at the Olympic Games. We talked a little bit about this pair from Thailand. Steen, just tell us a little bit more about Man and T.
Oh yeah, the Malaysian pair.
The Malaysians.
Always, as all Malaysian men's doubles pairs, in my opinion, extremely good racket skills. The way I see it, Man Wei Chong, the preferred front court player, the one who's serving here. Solid defense, good in the flat game.
Oh, they're challenging this. Jomkoh and Kedren. Well, Man and T only formed their partnership at the Polish International Challenger event in March 2021. And they went and won the tournament. That's a pretty good start, wasn't it?
It was.
Ooh, it was a good challenge. Caught the line. Well reached. Oh, it's totally off balance. Putting in from Kedren. Shakes his head.
And he's the sort of unpredictable in terms of you don't really know what you're going to get from him. He's the unpredictable factor in the Thai combination, Kedren. If the opponents can contain him, so to speak, like we saw there when he's attacked, if you can move him from side to side, then of course his reach becomes a disadvantage. On the other hand, if there's so much drift so that he can get bites in his smashes, then it becomes really difficult for the opponents, because Jomkoh is so fast and he's got a much wider reach than his partner. Or if the playing conditions are so slow that the Thai defense gets upgraded, so to speak, so it's difficult to score against them, so the rallies become longer, then Kedren's speed of movement, because he's super quick on his feet, then that becomes important, especially on the front court.
section.
That is over. 7-4. Thank you.
It was the block initially, wasn't it?
Thank you.
From Wei Chong.
13-16.
Oh,
That's well
just
left.
wide. Oh, my
For
goodness.
some purpose.
8-4.
They have a strong group of talented men's doubles players, Malaysia. These two here and the reformed Goh Sifei and Wei Sudin and Roy King Yap and Junaidi Arif. It's going to be interesting to see if they can take the last step up into top 10 and join Aaron Cha and Sugu Yik.
Yeah. Good work from Kedren at the front of the court. It's because Malaysia has a huge tradition, long tradition of successful men's doubles pairs, which is quite surprising to me. That it's actually 16 years since the last Malaysian pair won here at the Singapore Open. That's a long time. You think of all the good pairs they've had in the interim period.
It seems like I was thinking about these three pairs here. How can they make that leap into top 10 from being talent and someone that you're not really happy to see them as opponents in the opening stages of tournaments, but on the other hand, you might want to play them later on for a semi-final or quarter-final spot. You might actually want to play them.
Well, it's a healthy lead for the Malaysians here. A 6-point advantage in 6 minutes to the mid-game interval. Coaches for the Malaysian pair. So 11-5 the advantage to the Malaysians, Man and T. And I was mentioning that it was 16 years ago since a pair from Malaysia won the men's doubles title at the Singapore Open. Last pair to do so, Steve, was Mohamed Zakri Abdul Latif and Mohamed Farazi Suwan and Mohamed Tazari.
How many persons was that? There was a lot of names. I recall them very well.
Yeah. It was an all-Malaysian final, actually. Yeah. The late Gantek Chai and Lim Win Fui. Yeah. In fact, Gantek Chai was a former partner of the coach at the back of the court. Yeah.
That's the thing for these three pairs here that are good pairs, but what can be their speciality? What can be their bread and butter, so to speak? That's super important to figure out, because I think that's necessary, that you have some extraordinary skill in your game that you can build it around.
Yeah. Well, of course, the Malaysians, Man and T, have been in 5 World Tour tournament finals, winning 3 of them. Their first was the Saeed Modi in 2022. Also won the Chinese Taipei, a 300 event that year, and then last year their second win in Chinese Taipei. Whereas Jomkoh and Kedren ever
Service
been in
over.
a final as a
Kedren,
pair
13.
of
Wow.
any tournament. Of course, the man about to serve, he's a former world junior champion in the men's doubles with Ichapon Puavaranukro. Another challenge.
TotalEnergies called out.
Don't think they'll win that one either.
Please welcome the technical officials on court 2.
Oh, way long.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge
I
remaining.
wonder how
Service over.
how
14-7.
fresh
Play.
physically and mentally Supak Jomkoh is, because he played the third match of the day on court 2, and this is match 8 on center court on court number 1. But we've had a full walkover and a half walkover, and the matches have gone super quick here. So
Yeah.
he hasn't had what you normally would expect, like 5 matches break. He's had, I think, maximum 2 matches break.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm sure he's feeling a lot better, the fact that he won his
Yes.
mixed doubles, than had he had lost it.
Excellent. He's been good at the front court, man. There's something in his style that reminds me of Jason Kidd, former
Yeah,
World and Olympic silver medalist.
used
I
to play
wouldn't-
with Yapkin Hop, didn't
Yes,
he?
and I wouldn't necessarily brand Jason Kidd a typical front court player, almost the opposite. But he could play at the front court. He was very versatile.
That's gone on. But we are seeing much better rallies in this men's doubles than
Yeah.
our previous match, aren't
Yeah.
we?
17-9.
Well, they've really just run away with this opening game, the Malaysians. Yeah, you can tell from the body language of Jomkoh and Kedren, unsure what to try. Mind you, they did get to choose ends, didn't they?
Service over. Okay, 18.
Oh my goodness, that's a golden
11,
opportunity
18.
missed by T. Another one drifts long. 2 points away from the opening game.
19.
Man and T.
Great tumble serve again.
1 point away from the opening game. Yeah, well taken. Way in.
Game.
Opening game, 21-12.
First game won by Man Wei-chong and Kai Won-ti, 21-12.
Umpire confirming that scoreline. Man Wei-chong and TK won. One game to the good, 21-12 in 14 minutes.
Code 1, 20 seconds. Code 1, 20 seconds. Second game. Level. Play.
So one game to the good. The Malaysians Man and T against Jomkoh and Kedren of Thailand.
1 love.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying there. Well, the Malaysians are now hitting with the drift. There's going to be even extra bite in their attacking play.
Yeah. And Kedren, he was sort of shaking his shoulder early on in the first game, and I noticed one of the last rallies in the first game as well. It looked like there wasn't that much of a bite in his smash. He's got a lot of strapping on his right arm there. I wonder if he's been injured because they haven't played their home tournament, the Thailand Open. They were entered, but they didn't play it. So he might have had troubles with that shoulder.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, Steen, they've qualified for the Olympic Games.
Yes.
And they need to be a little bit careful. Can't aggravate injuries now. Having said that, I mean, you don't want to be going into the Olympics where you've had no match play.
Exactly.
So it's a catch-22 situation,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
That's a nice block. Like that from Wei-chong. Good work in the early stages of that rally from T.
7-3.
Wow.
Excellent.
Great work at the front of the court from Jomkoh.
4-7.
Now they can play the flat game with a little bit more confidence, the ties.
Oh, that's a beauty. That little guided shot down towards the tram lines. It's all about angle of shot. Look at that. That's delightful. Perfect placement. Getting it past the front court player, but making the shuttle land in front of the rear court player. Absolute perfection. He was a little late on that defensive shot as well, wasn't he, Kedren? He just seems off the pace, which would fit in with your theory that he's been out injured and hasn't been able to practice and train as much as he wanted to.
They're not entered into. There's 4 more tournaments on the World Tour after this one before the Olympics. Indonesia next week, and then Australia later on, US Open and Canada Open, and they haven't entered into any of the 3 other tournaments. I suggested, or I suspect that they might play next week in Indonesia, but then building towards the Olympics makes sense since they're not hunting any seeds or anything.
No. And when you think, you know, of some of the pairs they've beaten so far this year, former world number ones, Liang Wei-Kang and Wang Chang. In fact, I think they beat them when they were the world number ones. That was in India. They've beaten Liu Yu-Chen and Wu Xuanyi. That was at the French Open. Beat Astrup and Rasmussen in the All England. I mean, they've had, it's not just that they've been getting through the quarterfinals and semi-finals, they've been playing well.
They've been playing really well. And they're a pair that you don't want to end up in group with at the Olympics. You don't want a seed and then this pair here, then things could get ugly.
So 11-7, the advantage to the Malaysians at the mid-game interval here in the second game, having already won the first.
Coach 1, 20 seconds. Coach 1, 20.
So 11-7, the advantage to the Malaysians. And I thought just before the mid-game interval here in this second game, Steen, I thought that the tie pair of Jomkoh and Kedren were just beginning to find a little bit of form.
Yes, I would also, if I were the Malaysian coaches, I would sort of just remind Man and T that they need to keep up the alertness level, so to speak. It's so easy to lose confidence or to give their opponents confidence if they start a good run of points.
Well, I think they've taken heed of your word. Sensing a bit of danger, the Malaysians have upped their game again. Opened up a 6-point cushion. That's one left.
I was just about to say super controlling the defense, but then T you tried to play the fastest corner on the court. That didn't go well.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Well, that's certainly not helping their cause, is it?
Good play. Super play by T.
15-9.
Totally mistimed. Look at his reaction too.
And there wouldn't have been any bite in it had he hit it well.
17-9.
Anyway. Excellent.
Yeah, they're running with this now. 7 of the last 8 points for the Malaysians. Oh, that's good skill.
Misunderstanding between Man and T
11,
as to
18.
who is actually moving towards the net.
But isn't that one of your instances of a moment of magic from Kedren?
Yeah.
2 points away
19,
from a place in the second round for a third consecutive year here at the Singapore Open for this Malaysian combination. One point away.
20, match
Well,
point.
you've got to hand it to the Malaysians. They've been very positive today, but it's been disappointing to see Jomkoh and Kedren especially, having played so well earlier in the year. Just struggling today, and that's it. First time of asking. 21-12, 21-11. And Man Wei Chong and T Kai Wun safely through to the second round. I make that just under 30 minutes.
Next
And
one
on
by
paper that looked much more even.
Yeah. But there is confirmation. And indeed, it is just under 30 minutes, 29 minutes for 21-12, 21-11. And Man and T go through to the second round here at the Singapore Open.